What an exciting Chapter 2 that was! We met the Crow who sent us to Count Ku against the Sioux, but we found them surrounded by giants.
Well, there was no way to fight giants, but we did spot a very large herd of buffalo. So Kevin went off to go jump on those buffalo, but lo and behold, one of them jumped right into the seal.
I then commanded the buffalo to charge through the giants, and we saved the Great Plains. The Sioux gave us their war spear, and then the Crow told us exactly what we had to do. Get the rest of the animals for the wheel, and then charge it, and then create the magic seal.
Next question was where to start first. So we decided that we'd start by climbing the tallest tree that ever was, Hyperion.
But the Yurok people wouldn't let us near it without accomplishing an impossible task. We had to put out the raging crown fires in California.
And this was no easy task, I tell you. And the first thing we had to do before setting the blazes, to stop the blazes, was rescue all the creatures.
So we did that, and then fought fire with fire, and saved the California coast. From there, we climbed the tallest tree, Hyperion, all 380 feet, and managed to convince the eagle spirit to get into the wheel. At the bottom of the tree, we then wisely chose, to divide and conquer. I went north looking for the wolves.
And I went south looking for clay.
I ended up picking the wrong wolves and kind of running from them.
I got my clay, no problem. But getting home is another matter.
We've got danger looming all around us now. How are we going to handle this one?
We'll just have to see.
Chapter 3: Mythical Monsters. Deadeye snuck past the rock giant. Meanwhile,
Hey, you mean wolves! You leave him alone and stop giving him a hard time. You stop it. All right, ready? Fetch the bone. All right, come on, doggies, go get the bone. Good dogs. All right, get out of here, quick, come on.
Hey, thanks for rescuing me.
Kevin is rescued by the Bella Coola
So who
tribe.
are you guys anyway?
Hey, we're the Bella Coola, man. Welcome to Canada, eh?
Thanks. I didn't bring my passport with me.
I kind of noticed you look a bit rough to be a tourist.
Well, yeah, we're kind of on a special mission.
A mission, huh? All right, well, let's get you out of the wilderness here, clean you up a little bit. Let's go back to my house.
All right, I'm with you.
Boy, now that was close. I've got the clay all right, but I lost my book. So what next, Deadeye? I suppose the plateau. I'll go where the ovens are, the oldest ovens that are ever made. The plateau.
Deadeye heads to the plateau region to bake the clay.
Some of the earliest sites discovered in this region include the Marms rock shelter, and the earliest human remains are the Kennewick Man.
The indigenous peoples of the Northwest Plateau are historically called the Plateau Indians. There are several features that distinguish Plateau culture as just a little bit different than the other native populations. This includes a high reliance on certain foods like biscuit root, camas, eel, and salmon, as well as the development of long-term habitation like winter villages.
As the archaic people adapted to the Northwest Plateau area, we find the use of earthen ovens come into practice right away.
They often used nets to catch birds and fish, and they used snares and trapping pits to catch larger game like deer or elk. They also had access to Yellowstone, which gave them an abundant source of obsidian, which was prized as a valuable trade good, as well as for personal use, and they became a very wealthy people. They did not organize in a large social group, but rather they stayed with smaller tribal societies and villages. Around 1730 of the Common Era, horses were introduced onto the plateau from the Great Basin and were first adopted by the Cayuse and the Nez Perce. This changed the culture, and that change was still going on when the first Europeans arrived.
Intelligence check.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Yes, you, sir. Are you one of the Nez Perce people?
Yes, how can I help you, son?
Oh, delightful. I've been looking for you. I'm in need of use of one of your ovens.
How do you know about our ovens? Those are secret.
Of course. Well, you see, what I need is the oldest ovens out there. And there is clear evidence that your people have been occupying this part of the world where the oldest ovens are located for at least 12,000 years. In fact, your ovens are so old that we find them 4,000 years before even villages were built. Now that, sir, is very old. And since the ovens are older than any other culture, it became very, very clear and self-evident that your ovens had to be the ovens.
Yes, you are clearly very learned about our culture and our ovens. You prove yourself very wise. You may use our ovens, good sir. However,
Thank you.
currently they are occupied by the Bone Man.
The Bone Man. Now what, pray tell, is a Bone Man?
I cannot tell you that story, but perhaps your friend knows it.
He must mean Kevin. Very well then. I'll have to give him a call. He knows those sorts of things. Quite brilliant, that lad. Bigfoot, Oak Island. I'm certain he's got to know something about this one. Where is my phone? Oh, good. Hello, Kevin. Kevin, are you there?
Ahoy, Professor.
Oh, yes, sir. I've been sent on a mission by the Nez Perce. They want me to defeat one Bone Man. Now, I've never heard of such a thing. Is there something you could know? Something you could tell me about it?
Bone Man. Yeah, that's a Modoc story. Long ago, a young child, Nulwe, lived with their grandmother on the plateau. Nulwe had been warned many times of the Bone Man, an evil giant that drank the rivers dry and drove off all of the people. Grandmother stayed to care for Nulwe, and now Nulwe took care of grandmother. One day, while gathering berries, Nulwe heard a crash and looking up, saw the giant Bone Man. "Bring me food or I will devour your grandmother and then you," the giant roared. Nulwe obeyed, giving the giant all of their food, but still the giant demanded more. "Bring me food every day so that I may grow stronger, or else I will eat your grandmother and then you." Day after day, Nulwe brought the giant food, but it was never enough. To make things worse, Nulwe and grandmother were now out of their winter reserves and were growing very hungry. Nulwe went out to seek advice from the animals and learned that the Bone Man's heart was in its little finger. Nulwe quickly gathered the bow and made a special arrow of obsidian to pierce the bone. Nulwe went into the giant's lair and told the Bone Man, "You cannot have any more food, and if I cannot defeat you, then you will eat my grandmother and then me." "Foolish child," the Bone Man roared. "Your arrow cannot find my heart. Take your best shot." The Bone Man opened his arms wide. Nulwe aimed carefully at the giant's chest, and then at the last second, turned to the little finger and fired. The giant roared in pain and anger, "No! How did you find my heart?" and then crumbled into dust. Nulwe returned to Grandmother, and bit by bit, the people returned as well, to live happily ever after.
Why, thank you for that, Kevin. That's more information than I could have expected. As always, you tell a wonderful tale. I'll make good use of that, sir. Good day. Keep an eye on that for me, Sophocles. I wonder if I've got some kind of book. Apparently, the best way to go about things is to make a special obsidian arrow. There are many types of arrowheads to be found, and obsidian of a wide range of types. For example, this piece of obsidian right here. It's not a magical tip, but it is a type of arrowhead obsidian. Now, normally, you would find them in other colors, mostly black. But as you can see by this collection I have here, found in the desert southwest, that these are made of a reddish type of obsidian or volcanic glass. Now, neither of these will do. In fact, it's been in my experience thus far on this adventure that it requires more than just mundane means. Therefore, we have to make our own special arrow for slaying said Bone Man.
Meanwhile, in Belakula lands,
the coastal regions of British Columbia, Washington, and Oregon feature a mild climate and abundant resources, which made possible the rise of complex Aboriginal culture. This was supported by the abundance of food available in their lands. The rivers overflowed with salmon, clams and oysters carpeted the beach. The people could make a living without much effort. All of the West Coast tribes were considered rich by the other Indian nations, as they had continued prosperity and could devote more time to arts, crafts, religions, and ceremony. The traditions of the Pacific Northwest coast stayed mostly unchanged for thousands of years, lasting from the early Archaic period until the time of European contact.
Release the Kraken!
Alright, Belakula. This is a powerful monster, but we can handle it. Get your boats ready. Get the harpoons ready. Let's do this!
Physical challenge!
run in place to gather supplies. Go! Supplies gathered. But Kevin spots something strange concerning the Kraken.
Alright, everything's ready, and now... Wait a minute. It's not attacking. It looks like it's in pain. Quick, get a boat ready for me. I've got an idea.
cleaned up the Kraken.
Physical challenge.
50 jumping jacks to make obsidian arrow.
So there, Dr. Squatch. According to the Nez Perce, we have to make an arrow, a special arrow, in order to kill this Bone Man. Apparently he's another giant, and it takes a special type of obsidian to make our arrow. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
I can make an arrow. I can help you with that. I got something right here.
Oh, excellent. Very good. In that case, let's get started.
Arrow complete. Deadeye delves into the canyon with the Bone Man.
Alright, this is it. Go! Try! Oh, I can't hurt anything. What am I doing?
No! How did you find my heart? Plateau region saved.
Thank you for ridding our lands of the Bone Man. You can now freely use our ovens.
Why, thank you kindly.
We know that you're going to be spaking that special clay, and for it to work, you need the tar from La Brea tar pits.
La Brea tar pits! I've always wanted to go there. How exciting!
Need tar from La Brea. Meanwhile, Northwest region saved.
Wow, man, that was amazing. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Dude, you healed that kraken like it was nothing.
It's all about cleaning up the oceans.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Man, that was great. But we do need to help you more on your quest, man. Thank you for helping us, so I gotta tell you, those wolves that you were with, those wrong wolves, the right wolves, are over in Woods Creek territory, right? Over by Lake Wendigo. Those guys know all about it. Go find them, and you'll be on the right track.
Thank you.
The right wolves are near Lake Wendigo.
Early Spanish explorers called this area Los Volcanes de Brea, which means tar volcanoes. The tar pits are located in today's metropolitan Los Angeles and are a favorite tourist attraction. This tar was used on a large scale by modern people to pave the streets of our cities, and very early, a big, very big mining operation began. Soon, many ancient bones were discovered in the tar, and hundreds of pits were soon dug by fossil hunters, and the tar pits became extra famous. But over time, raw tar seeped out of the earth and filled the pits, thus giving us the famous tar pits we see today. But today's people are not the first ones to use the tar pit tar. The Chumash and Tongva people used it to make their boats watertight, which made them famous boat builders all along the California coast. But living next to a tar pit could be dangerous. In fact, the only human bones to be found in the tar pit is called the La Brea woman. She was between 17 and 25 years old. Her bones are carbon dated to about 10,000 years ago. With this in mind, I suppose I should watch my step then, shouldn't I?
Oh, I made it. Oh, wait. Look at all these pits. They didn't say there'd be so many pits. Which one is it?
Pause the video, decode the signs.
Of course that was it. I should have known. Healing fire. Clear as day. Very well. We'll have to take some of this along with us. Let's see. All right.
Found correct tar. Deadeye took the tar to the oldest ovens to bake the clay. And waited for it to bake. While Kevin shivered in the subarctic searching for the cream. Woods Cree, huh? Well, that's the subarctic. This whole area was once a giant ice sheet called the Western Canadian Shield. It was so big, no one could cross Canada for thousands of years. But when it started to melt, plants, animals, and humans slowly moved in. The first people were called Paleo-Eskimos, and they were part of a circumpolar culture that connected Alaska, Russia, Northern Europe, and Greenland. When the Canadian Shield melted away, some of them followed the ice and migrated north to become the Inuits and Eskimos of today. Others stayed behind and adapted to the new landscape that had grown up around them. The land was fertile, and these early people prospered. The new forest produced berries, nuts, roots, and wild grasses. The people hunted caribou, moose, and beaver, and quickly developed into a sophisticated civilization. The caribou and deer play a central role providing food, clothing, shelter, and tools. Moose hair and porcupine embroidery were commonly worked onto hides and birch bark, and beads would be woven into floral patterns. Some subarctic people even practiced agriculture alongside hunting and gathering.
Intelligence check.
Hi. You must be Kevin. We've heard about you and your quests from the Bellacula. You look cold.
Yeah. Do you know where the wolf is?
Ah, the wolf spirit you seek is located in the north. However, the Wendigos have risen. Beware the Wendigos. They will be in your way.
Wendigo. I'll handle it. Thanks.
Good luck.
Wendigos. I can take them. I'll leave the wheel here for safekeeping. All right, Wendigo.
The Wendigo. That's a type of ice giant. They form usually when people are being selfish, taking too much, things that aren't theirs. This happened long ago to the Cree, when a village was living badly, and ice grew in their hearts and around them, and they started taking from other villagers and other villages. The people of the Cree knew that they could not fight this giant, but perhaps through love they could melt the hearts, and so they sang together instead of making war. And slowly the ice giants melted and turned back into the people that they had been before. Only now they learned to live peacefully, taking only what they needed.
Wendigo. Ice giants. I gotta find a way to handle this. Alright, I got an idea. Yeah, this ought to work. Didn't work. Alright, how about magic swords? It didn't work. Alright, this has gotta work. It didn't work. Alright, I can't handle the Wendigo. I'm gonna call the professor. He'll know what to do. Christ! The phone!
Hello? Oh, Kevin, it's you. Yes, hello. Oh, of course. I just finished making the clay to make the seal. What? I beg your pardon?
Yeah, I need you to make a special weapon that can handle ice giants.
Ice giants, oh yes. Yes, oh, I'm sure I can make a special weapon. In fact, I have something in mind already.
But first, the seal is placed at headquarters.
Oh, twice, Dr. Squatch, Dr. Squatch! Kevin's having to fight with ice giant Wendigos, and he needs us to make him a secret weapon. So, I got what we need right here.
Alright, let's get crafting.
Physical challenge.
Run in place to make the special weapon. Go! Keep running!
So,
Special
we're finally
weapon
done.
made.
Perfect. All right, thank you, Dr. Squatch. The perfect secret weapon. Yes?
Before you go, here, this is the results of the paint analysis on the seal.
Oh, so it is. Very much. Thank you very much for that.
The bomb is
Oh,
lit, Professor.
Well, it's lit. Oh my God! What are we gonna do?
Go, get out of here!
Kevin! It's the special weapon I made for you. Ready to go, sir.
Well, that bought us some time. Let's go.
Good job.
Into the wolf den. Push-ups for a +1 to your next roll.
Black holes? Why?
Good heavens, Kevin! Look! That must be the wolf!
Yeah.
Why, he looks rather friendly. Almost like he wants to help us. How about that?
Get in the wheel?
Wow! We got the next spirit.
Craft alert! As before, we start with a clean, clear workspace, our medicine wheel craft, and colored pencils, crayons, or markers. We'll be adding our wolf to the top or winter section of our medicine wheel. I look up some drawings of wolves and start drawing. I start with the basic shape of the head, kind of like a mushroom. It doesn't look like a wolf yet, but once I add the ears by drawing triangles, it starts coming together. I add the eyes by drawing ovals near the center of the head, and move on to the snout by drawing a smile and adding 2 curved lines going up. The nose looks like an upside-down triangle, and I start adding in some detail lines until my wolf starts looking more like a tiger. Now it's time to start coloring, And like our eagle before, color in your wolf however you see fit. The wolf represents strength and family. Wolves gather together in close-knit packs, with each member doing their part to ensure the survival and safety of the rest. The alpha wolf is usually last in line, making sure the weakest and oldest are safe. We honor the wolf spirit by doing our part to help out others instead of acting selfishly, for the lone wolf dies while the pack survives. Call on the wolf spirit for guidance if you are having trouble fitting in or finding your place in the pack around you. And with that, our wolf has been added to our wheel.
Oh no! The Wendigo are everywhere!
Oh, for crying out loud.
What are we gonna do? As always, we start with a clean, clear workspace, and for this craft we only need paper and a pencil. Now there are literally thousands of ways to make codes, especially if you consider every written language a form of code. So to keep things simple, I'll show you how I make a code and then give you a few examples. I start by writing out the alphabet, leaving space underneath the letters to write my code. Now that the alphabet is written out, the creative part comes in. Whatever you write underneath or beside your letters is the symbol that will represent that letter in your code. For example, I've written numbers for my code here. And here is an example of what that code looks like written out. For another example, here is a combination of dots and lines. Or maybe you like different lines and shapes. Or you can just use our own alphabet and substitute the letters in different places. Now remember to share your code with whoever you want to be able to read it, otherwise it will be almost impossible to figure it out. One code that was never broken came from the Native Americans. It was a mixture of Comanche, Hopi, Meskwaki, and Navajo, and was used during World War II in order to send coded messages. Because the Native Americans rarely wrote things down, there were few examples for their enemies to use, and as such the code remained unbroken throughout the war, saving untold thousands of lives. Because of their service, numerous Native American code talkers from a variety of different tribes received medals for bravery, including the Congressional Gold and Silver Medals, National Order of Merit, and the Texas Medal of Valor. And August 14th is recognized in the United States as Navajo Code Talkers Day. Knowing all that, remember that a code is only useful until it is broken, so be prepared to have to make more. Or you can be ambitious like Deadeye and make an entire volume of known and unknown languages. That way you never run out of codes to use.